Welcome back to the programme. I'm Yalda Hakim. 2 months after the Taliban seized back power, the country is facing economic collapse. Now the UN Secretary-General is calling for immediate economic support in a bid to prevent a humanitarian disaster. Leaders of the G20 group of developed economies are meeting virtually to discuss the growing crisis. Writing on social media ahead of the meeting, the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said, "We must do all we can to avert a major humanitarian and socio-economic collapse in Afghanistan. We need to do it fast. I will present an Afghan support package worth around €1 billion." She also said that any engagement with the Afghan authorities comes with a number of conditions, including on human rights, but made it clear that Afghan people should not pay the price for the actions of the Taliban. That view was also echoed by the UN Secretary-General.
The Afghan people cannot suffer a collective punishment because the Taliban misbehave. People should not die of hunger in any circumstance.
That was the UN Secretary-General there. So why is this happening now? Well, according to the UN, the humanitarian situation has deteriorated in recent months due to a combination of factors, including conflict, drought and COVID. Over 18 million people are now in need of humanitarian assistance across the country. That includes more than 9.5 million children, with 1 in 2 under 5 facing acute malnutrition. Overall, around 30% of the population is facing crisis levels of food insecurity. And international aid is clearly key to all of this. The World Bank says foreign aid makes up 40% of GDP. For more on the scale of the humanitarian challenges in Afghanistan, here's the BBC's Yogita Lamai in Kabul.
This 18 million number that the UN has been quoting for a few months now, who are in need of urgent life-saving support, as they put it, which means people who need basic food, medicines, just to survive the day. And in the past 1.5 months since the Taliban seized control of this country on the 15th of August, access to so many places has been difficult. We have heard the UN say since the 15th of August that their local staff are facing harassment and intimidation. So there is, the other challenge as well of people who are on the ground trying to deliver aid, but them not necessarily in every place being able to safely allow to do so. But today's announcement will certainly be a shot in the arm to organizations like the UN that are working here on the ground, who have been repeatedly saying that there aren't enough funds for the needs of Afghanistan and that Afghan people should not suffer irrespective of what the political situation is. We did hear, interestingly and significantly, from the European Commission President when she said that this is humanitarian aid. It will be channeled through international agencies that are operating on the ground. It is separate to development aid that was also coming into Afghanistan prior to the 15th of August and being channeled through the government and through government agencies on the ground. So she has made that separation very clear, trying to say that Afghan people shouldn't suffer. We should be trying to help them out. But at the same time, this is a government that has seized control of the country. This is a government that we do not recognize yet. And therefore, development aid, which was flowing into the country, is not, there wasn't an indication that she was about to start that yet.
Yogita, you've been covering this story for some time. You were there before the fall, you were there after the fall. This harsh winter is also looming. Just tell us what you're seeing in Kabul, the levels of displacement and hunger. Is that visible now?
Well, yes, it is still visible. There are spaces in this city where people are living out in the open, with tents as accommodation. The temperature does drop even here in Kabul at night, and it is quite cold. And we are heading into, even harsher months ahead when it is going to be bitterly cold. We are also hearing from humanitarian agencies operating in other more remote parts of Afghanistan, where prices of everything have shot up. I mean, one of the things that has happened after the 15th of August is access to cash isn't easy. Even though banks have slowly opened up, it's still very restricted. And once that happens, when there's a shortage of cash in any economy, the prices of basic day-to-day necessities soars. And so people, as you say, who were having a very difficult time, even prior to the 15th of August, it's gotten more dire now. And in the months to come, with the winter coming in, it is going to get even more difficult.
That was Yogita Lamai reporting there. Well,